Hello, everybody. I'm Mikey.
And I'm Corey.
Every week we discuss and review a new book, movie, album, TV show, or honestly any piece of art or culture that ourselves and you guys choose. This is Mind Control. So there was these people who were being kidnapped and mind controlled.
Exactly, dude. And I can totally see how that happened. Because, imagine if you were just given acid or just drugs like that are so disorienting for hours and hours on end and never being able to come down and not feeling safe and having somebody tell you things and accuse you of things, you know? Yeah.
Mind control. That's how we do it, baby. GG's. Mind control.
On this week's episode of Mind Control, we're going to be discussing the 2018 film Mandy. Released on September 18th, 2018, Mandy was directed by Panos Cosmatos and stars Nicolas Cage, Andrea Riseborough, Linus Roach, Ned Dennehy, and Bill Duke. The film was shot over 29 days in the summer of 2017 in the forests of Wallonia, located in Belgium. Mandy is set in 1983 and follows a couple, Red and Mandy, that live a quiet life in a secluded forest when one day a devilish cult and their demon biker gang shatter their peace, leading our hero Red on a bloody and psychedelic quest for vengeance. The film makes interesting use of color and sound, making the horror film quite distinct from many others in the genre. The film score was done by Johan Johansson, and it was the last film score he had finished before his death. Johan Johansson is known for his scores in such films as The Theory of Everything, Sicario, and Arrival. The soundtrack is arguably just as important as the dialogue because it takes up such a significant portion of the film. Paired with the unconventional acting style of Nicolas Cage, Mandy ends up being a twisted, chaotic, psychedelic ride that is a whole lot of fun. Visual and audio distortions abound. Mandy is an LSD-soaked nightmare that is both hypnotic and completely absorbing. This is Mandy.
Yeah. With dude, that part. Well, I guess we'll just get into it, dude. Mandy, this was recommended by Blaka in the house. Is that what it was? It?
I don't know. I don't know how to say it.
In the house. Yeah. But either way, he recommended it, and it was a fucking good choice. You know, I remember Daniel was talking about the Nicolas Cage, and I had heard that he had been doing shit that was more up his alley recently, and that it was really good because there's another movie with him and Selma Blair where it's called Mom and Dad, and I think they're killing the kids or something, but it's supposed to be they say it's pretty crazy too. And then I saw one last night when I was looking through the movies, and there's
Willy
one that's
Wonka
coming
Walt.
Yeah,
like Whirly.
Yeah,
Willy's Walt.
Did you read
I don't know. I seen something about it, but I didn't read into it. No.
Did you read what? Oh yeah, it's he's in some place, and then all the animatronic animals come alive, but they're killers, and I think he has to fight his way out. And I was like, dude, that sounds dope.
Yeah, we should definitely watch those. That's the cool thing about this movie is it was there actually is a lot of deep shit that goes into it that has to do with it that I read about last night. But on my first glance, I wasn't it was fun. It was a fun movie. It kind of reminded me of old fun movies of old, where it's just badass and trippy just to do it, not necessarily trying to fucking have a concept or some deep shit behind it. But it was fun, dude. I had a lot of fun with it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, dude, that's exactly how I felt about it. And it was I don't know if the word's campy, it almost felt
campy.
It almost felt like a B movie, but it knew it was a B movie, so played into that. It had maybe it was that it had that 80s because it was supposed to take place in the 80s. So it had that 80s horror vibe at certain parts, where I felt when the red lights were flashing and you saw the biker gang just standing there from far away. And then just the way the costumes were too, it just felt very 80s, 90s, but I don't know, it played into it really well.
It was weird. I noticed exactly. I noticed even in the intro. I don't know if it was the way I was streaming it or the quality of the video I had or what. But I feel the intro titles, the words were kind of the red letters in the beginning were kind of blurry and they weren't it was made to kind of look. I don't know. That's probably the version I had. But a lot of the shots looked like it was wanted to not be so great quality, for sure. Almost like you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed that was definitely on purpose, especially the way they used the colors, the part where she takes the acid and she's with them, and then the dude's giving his speech. Dude, that whole fucking I wrote a note down too. That part where he's talking and it's a close up of his face, and they're superimposing her face on top of his at the same time, and they almost look identical. Like, it was so fucking crazy. And the way their eyes look too, they all look like they're tripping like the whole movie, you know? It was crazy.
Dude, that scene in particular, the visuals of it, when he's like standing and like walking and talking, and the trails he's leaving and the way he sounds, honestly, and I feel like we keep saying this, but that was so fucking realistic, bruh. The sound, even of the music, the trails, the visuals, the audio, everything about her trip during that time, even when she was laughing, like, oh, like, it was so fucking realistic to me. Like, maybe not realistic. It was like, had a realistic aspect to it. I don't know necessarily if that's exactly it, but it was like definitely originally realistic. I've never seen that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that kind of shit.
Dude, it was the way they did the visual and the sound, and then just that whole scene, the whole time, it was like, besides the trails, that they were like images of like the people in, like, I don't know, it was weird the way the camera, and you're right, the whole thing was very blurry, and at like times it was hard to see. I felt like that too when the bikers came to get them, and they just showed the flashing lights, and you would just see like the bikers. It was like hard to see, but it kind of added to the effect of the movie. I was like, whoa, this is kind of. It kind of makes it like gritty, and I don't know. It was like, it was weird. It was cool.
Bro, fuck yeah! It made it fucking gritty and weird and trippy. That's really what it was. I have a note here that talks to that. I put, the lighting speaks to the energy of a scene more so than what is best from a photographic point of view. So like, I feel like when there was like a very intense scene, it was flashing red, but it wasn't necessarily like. It wasn't like what looked best, I guess you would say. Like, it wasn't like a normal way of using lighting to portray things. And then when he would like pull out that like green rock thing, and like it was like flashing green, like that was like, it was like when it would flash green, it was like the lighting was trying to just say something different than what lighting normally says, I guess, in a movie, which was really weird.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. There has, I don't know, because you said you read a little into it, so maybe there was something on it. But yeah, the horn of Abraxas, the thing that he blows to bring the demons, that's green when he pulls it out. And then when he first pulls it out and he like hands it to the guy, it's like it has that green glow. And then later when he pulls out the blade, the pale knights, that shit has the green glow too. When he stabs Nicolas Cage, like Jesus, you know.
I didn't know that one was. Oh, was that glowing green too?
Yeah, when he first pulls it out, it has a green glow, and then later, that same spot where he gets stabbed at, when he has the dream and she's like anime and she's like pulling out a green thing, she's pulling it from there.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I wonder what the green. Did you read anything about?
So that's what that's what I was trying to pull up right now. There was this dude who wrote like a blog on his website, and I'm trying to find who it was because he did a really good job at it, and I was reading it last night. I hope I can find TaylorHolmes.com. Taylor TaylorHolmes.com. It looks like he has his own like blog, and it looks dope. But he wrote this, and the title of it, "The Movie Mandy's Beginning, Middle, and Ending Decoded." And he goes into super detail about like everything. And I guess that there's this book that it's kind of based on, or a lot of like the lore is based on. And it's let me see if I can find it here. It was like the Red Book or the something like that.
It's not the book that she's reading, is it?
It might,
because she's reading Seeker and the Serpent's Eye, and I didn't look it up, but she's reading that book, Mandy, the first couple scenes.
I think that the book that she's reading, if I remember right, and I wish I would have done a little more research, but if I remember right, it's like kind of loosely based on this book that's actually a book, and let me find the title of it. If I take too long, I'll just cut. So just give me a second.
Yeah,
it's not the Red Book, because Red is his name, right?
Red is his name.
Okay, hold on, let me see. Oh yeah, it is called the Red Book. About the same time Jung began working on a book entitled The Red Book, in that book. Okay, so let me read one of these in a little bit, and that way we, I'm not sitting here bullshitting.
Wait, so are you reading from the blog, or are you reading from the book?
I'm reading from his blog, And maybe and it might take a little bit of time, but that way we have a little bit more of an understanding and we can kind of go from there. And I think it'll be interesting to people listening to who watch the movie.
Yeah.
But
I'm in.
Yeah. So Mandy unpacked in detail. This is what he wrote. The opening third of the movie sets the stage for Red Miller. Definitely was wait. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, the opening third of the movie sets the stage for Red Miller's relationship with Mandy Bloom and the perfectness of their love. There is one scene when Mandy walks out from the water and we begin to get a hint that there might be something else going on here. Why? Did you see how the camera dropped into slow motion as she walked out of the lake to stand close to the fire? It's almost as if Panos Cosmatos, which is the director, I believe.
Director.
Yeah,
yes,
and his cinematographer Benjamin Loeb are highlighting Mandy's godness. So basically, there's this idea that Mandy's like a god, basically, and it says she is from the land of the nymphs, the land of the water and of fire. She is not of this world. That Mandy is a perfection that this world doesn't deserve. And Red's love for this woman is the only perfect emotion this world has ever experienced. It's obviously a budding relationship. They aren't married, thus the different last names. And they've only recently started connecting and hanging out. Mandy gives Red a reprieve from the chaotic daily routine of his lumberjack life. You tracking with me so far? That's what he says. Okay, so then he talks about basically the story that when Mandy's talking about the starlings, the birds, and I guess that starlings have some sort of connection to let me see. And if you've seen the movie Upstream Color, you know that a murmuration is anything but insignificant. The starlings, being birds, especially birds capable of such beautiful patterns and stories in the sky, signify a connection to the sky and to heaven. So I guess starlings are birds that like do those crazy, like they all fly together and move. And I guess that signifies some sort of connection to the sky and to heaven. So these starlings that the father is killing is seen by her as an abomination. And so we get another hint that Mandy may just be an angel, or at the very least, a symbol signifying incorruptible perfection. And Red, he's just you. He's just me. A guy in love with something so perfect he doesn't fully grasp what he's dealing with. Or maybe he is Mandy. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Just keep reading. So let me find the information on the actual book. And I think that's where I'm at here. The cult and its motives. Mandy is walking on the road and she walked past a group of people in a van, and the leader of this cult, Jeremiah Sand, decides he has to have her. This is pretty easy to understand. Evil in any form desires purity. In order to blemish is destroy it, desiccate it. And so he orders his second in command, Brother Swan, to go and fetch her, but he also calls in backup. Jeremiah asks Swan to use the horn of Abraxas. Yeah, we are going to stop right there. The horn of what? I dove deep to try and squirrel out the meaning of Abraxas, and after 2 hours of reading, let me just tell you this, it's confusing. But basically, Abraxas originally came from Egypt, Greek, Roman origin. No one really knows. But ultimately, Abraxas began associating with Gnosticism, G-N-O, okay. And then after...
We read about that, like the Gnostic Bibles.
Remember? Okay, Gnostic. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. And then after that, he was considered to be a trickster demon that was constantly dropping spiritual subterfuge on people. Subterfuge? I never fucking heard that word. Making them believe that he was in fact the one true God, when in fact he was not. Now we can assume that when the horn is blown, Abraxas' minions are summoned. Oh, also, maybe Jeremiah Sands is Abraxas, ? Or more accurately, he is most likely possessed by Abraxas, as seen by the conversations that he has with himself. But we also see that blowing the horn has its costs. Jeremiah knows that he is going to have to pay for the blowing of the horn with a life, and he offers Brother Hanker as payment, a life for a life, a blood covenant, evil as it is. So when these Hell's Angels, Hell Spawn, deliver Mandy to Jeremiah, his goal is to defile her, to destroy her. Well, to prepare her, Mandy is given crazy mind-tripping drugs and is stung by a beetle as the cherry on top of this powerful drug cocktail. It wasn't a beetle though, right?
No, it's that's a picture. I mean, do you want to go into it now, or should we wait?
No, yeah, yeah, we can go.
Yeah, so it's the tarantula hawk wasp. So it's what they're called, a tarantula hawk. That's why I put both pictures, because that's how big it is in its hand, and then that's it fighting the tarantula, because they fucking eat the tarantulas. Dude, they're fucking huge, and it's if I'm correct, I think they say it's like the most painful bite that you can get. but they don't they don't sting humans very often. But they said that it's the most painful sting that you could get. So I think from what I was reading, they gave it to her after, and that remember he was in the movie, he's soaking in that jar. So people were saying that there's probably chemicals in that jar that obviously seeped into the skin of it. And then I think the pain also like you've seen like old. Yeah, and you've seen like old tribal shit. Like I remember there's a documentary about it where like they would take the psychedelics and they put the fire ants all over them to fight them. Yeah, I think that was kind of a form of what they were doing, you know, like the cherry on top, like that intense pain with the strong acid was supposed to, I don't know. That's what I got from it when I read up on it. But that is the bug though that they take out.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that looks like it. Yeah.
No, yeah, that's definitely it. And it's what's crazy is I've heard about a tarantula hawk before because I used to watch this YouTuber named Coyote Peterson, and his whole thing was that he would like do adventurous shit or wilderness shit, and he would purposely get bit by spiders and snakes and all this shit, and he purposely got bit or stung by a fucking tarantula hawk, and he said that was one of the worst pains he'd ever felt. And out of all
that's what I read.
You read about him?
They look fucking crazy. Yeah, Paul used to actually watch his videos.
Oh yeah.
But then I read about the stings though when I was looking it up.
Yeah, we should do that, bro. We should do like a fucking hot ones kind of thing, but tarantula hawk ones or something like.
I'll do it with acid. We'll take a tab.
Acid soaked tarantula hawks.
No, we'll take a tab and we'll see who could withstand the most pain.
Holy fuck! That was what I noted that down. Like, what the fuck was that they made bite her? I thought it was gonna be some sort of like a psychoactive beetle thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, this wasn't even confirmed. Like, I couldn't find the director or somebody saying, but somebody said it. And then when I looked up, somebody on Reddit is the one who said it was this bug. And then people were agreeing. And then when I looked it up, like it. And then I watched it again this morning. I was like, yeah, it looks almost exactly like it. So I'm pretty sure that it is.
So the idea is that they had that thing sitting in liquid like LSD, the hawk
or something. Hawk? Yeah, I think it was some sort of chemical, you know, because then when they pull it out too, it's very docile, you know, it just stings her. It doesn't try to fly away or nothing.
Is it the same liquid that they fucking end up drinking and that he ends up taking a dab on his tongue of?
No. I don't think those. So the people, when I watched it again, the people in the cult, the regular people, they've never tried that acid. That's that goopy shit. Yeah. It looks like, that's different. That's the stuff that Nicolas Cage tries. And then the biker gangs are the one who does it. And then that one dude makes it. But I think the cult just does regular acid. Because I remember in the movie, they talk about that the bikers were working to deliver the LSD, but then they got served a bad batch.
Oh yeah,
the bad batch made them go crazy. Hey, Chacha, stop it! My bad.
Humping Chacha. Or what?
She was licking the privates.
Damn.
I don't get to do it. You don't get to do it.
Oh, I'll put that on Instagram. I'll put that whole thing about the fucking beetle and then the ending with the if I don't get to do it, you don't get to. All right. So I'll just keep going. I think this is where it kind of talks about this is just the last two paragraphs, so I'll read it. Jeremiah comes to Red and tells him that he has the tainted blade of the pale knight straight from the abyssal lair. Yep, no idea. Basically, here's what I heard when Jeremiah said this. This is the evil blade of the evil demon that came from his evil home. Evil, evil, evil. Which brings us back to Mandy and Jeremiah's attempt to consume Mandy. Well, obviously, our perfect goddess isn't going to allow this. Instead, she does the one thing she knows will cripple him completely. She laughs at him. And with that, Jeremiah decides she needs to die. So Red, stabbed and tied up, watches as Mandy is hoisted up, hanged, and lit on fire. Red is left to watch in horror. Mandy literally dies at the exact halfway point of the film. The rest of the film, 100% retribution. So yeah, that's a good explanation of a little.
I love that because when we were watching it, I was trying to get the first night, I was like, man, I want a picture or a video of the opening Mandy, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, when it pops up, and then it never did.
Oh, yeah.
And then I like how, it comes up halfway through the movie right after she dies, and then it shows Mandy, and then he's driving in the car. And yeah, dude, I love how the first half is a lot slower, but it's like super psychedelic. And then the second half is like, it's all fucking violence and retribution.
Yeah.
It's badass.
It is.
It's cool. It's crazy.
It's badass. So and it's like not corny badass either. Like it's definitely like, I don't know. It's like an 80s cheesy, but dope you know, like when Cheesy was
like
dope.
I feel like he's like the only actor too that could have pulled off this movie without making it seem corny. Because like Nicolas Cage is like, he's like, dude, in the beginning when he says knock knock and she's like, who's there? Eric Estrada. Eric Estrada, who? Eric Estrada from Chips. And dude, I started laughing too. I was like, that's so stupid. Yeah. And it just reminded me of Nicolas Cage in the Jim Carrey book. I was like, oh.
Yeah. I wrote that down. I wrote that down. I said, it seems like Nicolas Cage is playing a pretty similar character to who he played in Memoirs. That was one of my notes.
From what I've read, all the movies that he's been doing, all these horror movies, they said that, yeah, he's been playing like more characters that like, you know, for like perfect for him, you know?
Fuck yeah.
And I was like, that's dope. I kind of want to watch the rest of them now, you know? Because I was like, yeah, this one was honestly, it was so good. And oh, dude, I know we talked about the colors, but the soundtrack, the score is crazy. And if you notice, I didn't notice until I watched the second time because I read something. Because the guy who did this score is Johan Johansson. He's the one who did the score for Arrival, and he's done. He just died actually recently. This was the last score he did, man, before he died. Not just, I guess that was 2 years ago, but he's done a lot of big movies, like good movies, and he did the score for this. And I was reading, someone was saying how like the score is almost more. There's more of the score than there is dialogue, and there really is. Like besides the part with the
makes sense.
Like yeah, like the and if you watch it again, like when I watched it this morning, I was like, oh shit, like the sound is almost just as important as the dialogue because it really does carry the movie. And then because like the first half, there's besides when she's talking to the cult, like they don't interact too much. Like it's a lot of just like long shots and like colors and beautiful sound. And then the second half is like not talking either. It's like violence and retribution, you know?
Dude, I had my sound bar at full volume with the bass all the way up, and I was sitting right in front of it. And this is one of the first movies I legitimately watched with it. It's $150 sound bar, so it's pretty legit. And I have it mounted perfectly right where it like aligned with my ears. So it was fucking dope, dude. It was so dope. But yeah,
it's a good movie.
Yeah, and I loved the music too. I wrote that down. Great. That was my second note. Great music, and on top of that, the audio even with the dialogue said a lot. Like I noticed Nicolas Cage as he became what I would say was the evil he needed to be to kill the evil. His voice started to change, and he started to become when he became what is the note I had? It's like I put like. I like how Nick's voice is changing the scarier now that he's in control. Like the more he started becoming, you know, he started winning, he started becoming the evil. It was wild.
Yeah, you know, and earlier you mentioned it about how, I mean, I didn't see it with Mandy, I guess, but it wouldn't make sense. But I saw a lot of parallels with Nicolas Cage kind of being like Jesus because of where they stabbed him. And then he does mention before he stabs him, he's like, you know what Jesus's problem was is he didn't offer somebody up in his stead, you know, to get sacrificed for him. And that's kind of what happened for Nicolas Cage. Like they sacrificed Mandy, but left him there and he gets stabbed there. And then, something else happens. I think it's like the barbed wire. Oh yeah. Later, he has the barbed wire on his wrist, and then later he gets the nail through his hand.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, then at the very end, I felt like he was almost becoming God, you know, like because the guy from the cult obviously thought he was God, you know. But then at the end, it was like you said, Nicolas Cage's voice got deeper, and then he somehow got enough power to smash his head. You know, that shit was crazy.
Yeah. I saw that. Yeah. That was fucking there was actual gory parts that like kind of like was like holy fuck, like shocking.
Dude, I know.
But there was also parts where I thought could have been more gorier. Like let me I don't know if this is going too left, but when Mandy got burned, I felt like it wasn't her because it wasn't obvious that it was her.
Oh wait, hold on 1 second.
Oh yeah, you're
leaving? Where are you going? Oh, okay. She's driving something off. All right. My bad.
Oh, you're good.
All right. What were we saying?
So when Mandy got burned, I feel like it wasn't obvious that it was her because she was in that thing.
The whole time we watched that, I kept telling Frankie, I was like, I don't think it's her. I think they're just trying to fuck with him, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I kept thinking. Yeah.
What the fuck? I was like, I literally put a note after that. I said, hanging Mandy ? Why did they burn her in a sleeping bag? Was it the fat boy? Because I remember they were trying to offer that fat boy, and you don't see the fat boy get taken. And then it says, and then I put, because it wasn't super obvious that it was his wife, I can't feel the emotions the movie want me to feel from this point on. Is that the point?
Bro, I don't know if that's a point, but I love that you wrote that down, because that's exactly how I felt too. When I saw it, it was, especially as it went on and I started realizing, oh shit, like it is actually his wife,
Yeah.
And, or not his wife because they're not married, but Mandy, and I felt like that too. Like it definitely took away from the emotional response I had, because for most of the burning, I kept thinking, nah, it's not her. That's why they covered her. Like, that's why he can't see her, it'd be way worse to actually see her,
Yeah.
And I wonder if that was on purpose to lessen the blow, because like the movie isn't like, even though it is, I feel like deep on levels, and never, I feel like it's trying to be sad and depressing. And I feel like to see her burn may have been super sad and depressing. I mean, we still see her burn, but to see her body burn, to actually see her, like, would have been even, I don't know, worse in a way.
Yeah. I don't think the movie was worried about being worse though, because it was pretty bad. So it's like, maybe I think, and this opens up a wider, huger concept, which I will hit you with right now because fuck it. I read in this guy's blog, and as I started thinking about it, it kind of made more sense to me that there's this idea that the movie and all the characters and everything that happens is all just something that's kind of happening in Red's subconscious. And it's him, in a way, battling his own evil and his own demons. And Mandy is, in a way, the better version of himself that he needs to find vengeance for, or something like along those lines. That there's this idea, and it kind of speaks to it in the end when he's in the car and he's like, that's this fucking weird ass smile, and then she's not there, and he looks and she's not there. But she is, and he's like happy, like as if he saved her or whatever, but she's not really there. And it was like, and it talks about like, and then I don't know. That idea kind of like, I think would speak to the fact that she wasn't visually shown being burned because she's not real.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. And then it was almost like it was almost like, because that happened, then right after it went into that second half that was all about him. Because you're right, the first half is all about Mandy.
Yeah.
Who is, and it's a much gentler half. There's really no violence besides the violence she talks about. And then the second half is all violence, and it's all Red, like no Mandy. I didn't think about that. That could be, but I don't know. I feel like when I watch it though, like I like the idea though that it was a revenge story. I like that better. Yeah.
I think that it should, if it would, that it was like, it kind of left it open-ended, not showing her burn. I think that was a very, very important part for them to do. I think that it leaves it open-ended, and it leaves it to where it's like, it's kind of another one. I'm kind of over that shit in a way. Like, nah, just give me some fucking, like, give me a conclusion, sort of. But I like the way that this did it, because it's kind of like, it felt, I didn't feel unsatisfied, I guess, at the end. But I do like this idea that it's just this fucking psychotic dude driving through the fucking forest, just in his head being fucking crazy, probably murdering innocent people, and it just coming off as this vengeance story where he's, trying to, kill the demons inside of him, I guess. So it's just a cool concept, a cool idea to think about, but it might be a bit of a stretch. But either way, go ahead.
Yeah. No, go. What were you saying?
No, I was not going to say anything. I was going to look at something.
Yeah, no, I do like that idea, but I love, though, it being a revenge story and him, like, I like that type of shit too. I feel like good revenge stories are like some of my favorite movies,
Yeah,
like
for sure.
It's a good feeling, it's satisfying.
The plot of the story is super basic. Like, man's wife gets murdered, he gets revenge, the end. But it's the way they do it is really dope. But fucking, I imagine how much better of a revenge story it would have been if you visually saw her burning and like crying or screaming.
Yeah.
They could have done that. But
they definitely.
Yeah, I just think it would have made the movie an entirely new thing. But maybe also we're just thinking too much about the movie. Maybe we can't. Maybe that's just like people like us who would have not thought it was her burning and allowed it to affect the rest of the movie. Or you think?
Yeah, I mean, it didn't affect the rest of the movie. Like once, like right after she burned, and then the dude was like, "Whores burn the brightest" or something.
Oh yeah,
that was when I was like, "Oh shit!" Like
that's true.
They actually burned her. Yeah, you know, like that's what made me feel like because they were saying shit like that. You know, I was like, "Oh, maybe they actually did." You know, so then, but I disagree. Like I agree because during the moment when it was happening, I felt like you did. I felt like, oh, this isn't the type of response I would have if I was actually seeing her burn. Like I kind of feel like it's not happening. But after the scene, I kind of got in my mind like, oh, okay, she is dead. You know, especially like because after when he goes into screaming and then the crying.
Well, and then on top of that, that moment when he is looking at her and her fucking face blows away in the wind. That was like a hard scene. So it's like, so that was wild. That was like when Ned got his head cut off type feeling. Like just see your fucking love of your life fucking fly, just fade away in the dust. Oh my God. Like, what did that say? What does that mean? Like that just, so,
what were you saying?
No, I was going to go ahead. If you have more, I was going to just bring up a note.
No.
I have a note here that says, "Ha, she laughed at his pee-pee." I thought that was funny. That was a wild scene. I
love when she laughed. And then I like when he was in the mirror and he's like, tell me what to do. Tell me what to do. And he's all freaking out, and he was like, don't look at me.
Yeah, he's trying to turn away.
Because he couldn't get it up, I was like,
he tries to mad jack off. I forgot about that.
So when you saw this, I know you had thought of it. Didn't the cult and like him loosely reminds you of like Charles Manson because he had the failed 60s group, and then he obviously was having sex with all his followers. And then there's one part too where he calls them pigs. He says something about them being pigs. He calls them pigs,
soulless
twice.
Pigs or something like that.
And I remember that was like one of the things that they would say all the time, But I was like, oh, I like how there's Lucy Base. And then I read something by the director as like a little interview where he was also talking about how like that character to what's his name? What's his name? The
main character?
Jeremiah.
Oh, Jeremiah, yeah.
Yeah, that he was almost like the male ego, like with no boundaries, like he was so into himself and like he was crazy that everything revolved around him. He was very just like this was his way. Like he wanted the girl to prove to him that she loved him. Like it was all feeding his ego. And the one thing that hurt him the most was her laughing at him,
Yeah.
And like it hurt him so much that he went and burned her to death, even though in scenes before he was like, oh, she's my soulmate. Like I want her because I recognize something in her. And then the second she hurt his ego, he was willing to kill her,
Yeah.
And like what that says about like, about how fragile the ego can be.
That's
and
true.
like, you can, because, you hear about the shit, like fucking dudes kill girls that turn them down, that say no. It's like,
that's true.
Like shit happens. And not just dudes. I'm pretty sure it happens with chicks too. It's like just the ego thing, like how fucking maniacal it can be, because that's like what he reminded me of. He was just all ego, that dude. Like,
straight like just like the epitome of weakness too, like a weak mind kind of shit. Like just
because right when Nicolas Cage was like stronger than him, then he was begging for his life all of a sudden.
He's all suck your dick.
I forgot about that. I was like,
oh shit.
That brought back some cheese.
I got these cheeseburgers.
Dude, that whole scene though, what does he say? Wait, I have it written down. I wrote it in the Instagram post too, but I fucking love that quote he says to him right before he kills him. Oh, he says, "A psychotic drowns where the mystic swims. You're drowning, I'm swimming." And then he breaks his head, But I like how he says that. Yeah, I like how he's like referencing the cult leader as the psychotic, and then Nicolas Cage is the mystic at the end, because he's like, and then he says, "You're drowning, I'm swimming." So he's the mystic that swims.
Okay.
So like it kind of feeds into that idea of him becoming a god in a way too at the end,
Yeah. And I like. What do you think the shot? Oh, go ahead.
No. I wasn't gonna say anything.
Oh, I was gonna say, what do you think about the shot at the end with all the multiple planets, and what does that talk? And remember, they had that conversation about planets. Does this mean they're not on Earth? Like, what's going on?
That's the vibe I got in the very beginning. I had told Frankie that when we were watching it, and they were still in the forest, like living their life because of the colors. I was like, I wonder. And because it was in 1983, and just the way it seemed, I had asked Frankie too. I was like, I wonder if this is supposed to be like not Earth, And then at the end, they showed that too. So I was like, I wonder if it is, because I mean, you really don't have any idea.
Yeah,
it could be not Earth, because it also seems very post-apocalyptic, like nobody else really exists besides them two, and then now this cult, But I mean, it's also where they live, secluded in the forest. But yeah, dude, that seems crazy at the end when he's driving. It's just so visually like, whoa. Like,
yeah, for sure.
It was cool.
It reminded me of the end of Dusk Till Dawn. You remember that?
What happens at the very end?
When they pull back away from the hotel, it's like, or the bar, and then they show all like hundreds of like cars and shit on like at the bottom of a cliff.
Oh yeah.
So it's just been there for like hundreds of years. They've just been killing people every night. Like, yeah, that was a wild moment too.
Yeah. No. Yeah, dude, I haven't seen that movie in a long ass time.
Oh, I watched the Salma Hayek scene every other night.
Every other night. Oh fuck. Dude.
Oh no.
What?
Oh, I thought you hurt your ribs, bro. I felt that.
I did right now.
That was real pain I saw in your face right now. I fucking felt bad.
Dude, shit hurts when it comes.
I fucking bet.
There was fucking something else I wanted to talk about the movie. I feel like it was towards the end. Oh no, I was gonna say about the because how visually cool it was. The dude who made it, Panos Cosmatos, or how I think that's how you say it. He only has one other movie. Like I kind of want to check it out now before, and I forgot what it was about, but it sounded interesting. And like just seeing how visually cool this one is, like I really want to see.
Hell yeah,
what that one would be like. It doesn't have. I don't know if it has anybody in it. I don't think so. It's just like I don't know.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I want to watch the Nicolas Cage ones too. That fucking one that just came out sounds really dope. Like fun to watch.
Dude, I know. I want to see that one. The Mom and Dad, I heard, is good too, with him and Selma Blair, where they're like killing the kids. I think. I don't know exactly what's going on, but
we should do like Nicolas Cage month or some shit, and just watch like 4 Nicolas Cage movies in a row. We could even do The Family Man, bro. I love that movie. It's an old fucking 90s.
I don't think I've ever seen it. Yeah, I've heard of it, but I don't think I've ever seen it.
That might be fun to do. That might actually be kind of like a weird Nicolas Cage one to throw in the middle of it all. That would actually
we should do that movie too that you brought up during the when you were doing the dude's blog, because I'm pretty sure it's that movie with Robin Williams, right? That he was talking about.
Which
about
one?
Death. You said the name of it. It was like Upstream, or no, Upstream.
Yeah, something
Upstream.
like that. I don't know that. I've never heard of it.
I feel like I've seen that shit. Actually, now that I'm thinking of it, Upstream Color. Let me look that up.
I'll try to find it here. Is that what it's called? Upstream Color?
Oh, bro. I'm pretty sure I've seen this. This movie's a fucking trip. So it's a man and a woman are drawn together, and their whole life cycles are entangled in this ageless like organism. And then it's honestly all fucking, it's weird. Okay. It's weird. I actually don't know if I ever finished it, but it came out in like 2013. Maybe we should check it out.
Robin Williams?
No, it's not with Robin Williams. There's another movie, Robin Williams, that's all about death. It's like his wife dies, and then he goes to like heaven or hell or something, and it looks serious. It looked really depressing. I can't remember what it's called.
When he kills himself on in the movie?
He might. I've never seen it.
Is it like one of his last movies that he ever made? And he has a son? Because it's weird because he actually hangs himself in a movie. Like a year that he came out like a year or two before he died from hanging himself.
Oh no, I think that's like Get Smoochy or something like that.
Some shit like that. I think it was like a more lighthearted movie, or not lighthearted because he kills himself, but yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the one. I don't know. I know there's this one where he's he dresses up like he works on some children's show or something, and he's like, it's like depressing though. Like
he's done a lot of weird movies that would be cool. 1 Hour Photos, dope.
fucking hate that movie. I mean, I like it,
What?
but I fucking hate it. No, I like the movie, but I fucking hate it, bro. He's fucking creepy. He's super creepy. That shit's kind of scary.
Bicentennial Man would be dope.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, he's like a robot, and he learns to love the family that he's given to, and like,
bro, we should do Flubber, bro.
I'm down.
Anything.
I'm fucking down.
There was something else I wanted to say about this fucking movie too. Bro.
Go ahead.
No, what were you saying?
No, go ahead. I'll highlight this note and I'll bring it up later. Go ahead.
I was gonna bring up first the when he lights the cigarette off the dude's head. When he lights on a fire. Dude, have you ever seen Mad Max?
Yes. No, I've not seen. No, I've actually never seen it. No. I've heard of it and seen the posters. I'm kind of.
That's what this movie. Yeah, that's what it reminded me of a lot. The second half, Mad Max. Mad Max is. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. Dude, if you haven't seen that, we should do that one. Honestly, that movie's amazing. And like it's badass the way it's made, because like Mad Max is essentially like post-apocalyptic, and the main character he's pretty. In this one, they don't show it, but in the original movie with Mel Gibson, like they kill his wife and his like daughters, and it's like this gang, and then he goes crazy and he goes and gets revenge. But then after that, he's just kind of crazy because of where he lives. And then this one like picks up way later, and it's just like an episode, and like he's already out of his mind, and like he's just on this quest. It's fucking cool, dude. But it reminded me a lot of like the way Mandy looked, especially with the cigarette and when he was driving the car. It's very like Mad Max, you know. And then also I wanted to
I'm sorry, that other movie he did. There was a moment when he grabbed the chain that reminded me of Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider. Dude, that part too is interesting. I think it was supposed to be comical. Is when he has the chainsaw and the dude has the fucking long ass chainsaw.
Oh yeah,
I've never seen a chainsaw like that. I was like, that can't be real.
It just looks fake as fuck. Dangerous.
But
go ahead.
That cheddar goblin is what I was gonna bring up.
Yes.
Remember that? The commercial?
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, the goblin, the mac and cheese shit. Yeah.
Yeah, they made that commercial for the movie, and like I don't know, dude, when I watched it again today, like this shit's kind of scary.
Yeah.
I just wanted to bring it up. Like it was worth noting. Yeah, it's like it's weird. It reminded me of like old 90s shit though. Like that's like just the vibe I got too.
Yeah, 90s. For sure. Like, for sure. Yeah. Early 90s maybe. I like that scene where he fucking beats that dude's ass while that fucking porn is playing in the background on the TV. Oh, yeah. That shit's fucking badass.
Dude, the movie was cool. It was really cool.
It was badass and fun, dude. It would have been so much fun to watch it in the theater room. We should definitely watch some one of these funner movies over there.
Hey, no, I know. I was thinking that too. I was like, fuck, dude, this movie would have been cool in the theater room. Like,
have some drinks. Really cool. Yeah.
No, the next one for sure will have to do that.
Yeah.
Dude, but hey, this dude who requested it, like, it was a good request.
Yeah,
like, I would never have picked this movie, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
It was,
for sure.
I'm glad I watched it now. Now it's kind of like, I feel like opened up a whole new. I mean, I know Daniel was talking about it, but now after seeing it, I'm like, oh, fuck, I do really kind of want to watch all these other movies with Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. I bet they'd be good.
Invested.
For sure.
Yeah.
Hell
yeah.
So I have this other note. I really like the casting decision for the girl who played Mandy, because I like her the way she looks physically. Like has like a glow and like a beauty to her, but she's not like a cookie cutter damsel in distress kind of chick that you would normally see. You know what I'm saying? Like some perfect Megan Fox looking chick. I like that it was her. You know, I think it adds to the appeal of the movie and her. That's it.
I thought you were going to say something else. It definitely does. It makes it more realistic, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then, but also though, the chick who played Mandy, the way they made her look was a fucking trip with like her eye, like her, like one.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I'm pretty sure that's not how the girl really looks, but like the eyes were, honestly, that was one of the trippiest parts of the whole movie. Like everybody's eyes, and not Nicolas Cage's, not until he does the acid at the end when he puts a little drop on his tongue. But before that, his eyes are pretty normal. But everybody else's eyes, like Mandy is like, they just look so fucking dilated the whole movie.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it looked crazy.
I noticed that a lot during the scene where he's like staring at her and talking. His eyes, his were completely dilated. It was fucking reminding me of being at raves and shit.
Dude, I know exactly. It was gross.
Dude, do you remember that part where that dude, he's just like chilling there, and then all of a sudden there's a whoosh, and then the fucking pickaxe just fucking, or that fucking axe just hits him in the fucking face out of nowhere?
Oh yeah, he throws it.
Yeah,
they're playing that
badass.
Spanish song in the background.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I don't remember.
Yeah, he's playing it out of his car, and then the axe comes and hits him in the head.
Yeah, the music was good.
Yeah, if there's do you have anything else to say? Because I found this article. I haven't really went through it, but it's like 10 like little Easter egg things that I guess are in the movie.
Okay. I mean, I think the only other note that I really have was that I don't know if you noticed, like that little intro in the beginning that talked about rock and roll. Like, I don't know what that has to do with that. But I didn't. But I did notice a part in the movie that kind of may have touched on that, and like how a lot of the movie is kind of like rock and roll like esque. But there's a scene where he's walking into like this like church, like pyramid church looking building, and he's like walking and he has that fucking that axe on his back, and then there's like this like dun, dun, it's like drum like playing riffs. I mean, drum riffs, guitar riffs, and fucking like drums in the background. It sounds real rock and roll type, like almost like Tenacious, like badass Tenacious D for some reason it reminded me of. But fucking, it was super like, I was like, oh, this is real rock and roll shit. Like they fucking like that. It looked like he almost had a guitar on his back, and the way that the music was playing, it was like super rock and roll. It was a dope moment. That's
actually perfect lead off into the first thing on this list. Yeah. So. Yeah, well, actually, before though I get into it, I wanted to say too. Yeah, I noticed that with the like metal rock, because like Mandy's like her shirts were all like Slayer and like metal, and then also there was the contrast that she was like super metal and like rock, and then she went around these hippies who were like the music he was playing was like the complete opposite. You know,
I love the song he played. He's a Jeremiah.
It's so terrible, dude. It's funny though, it's funny though because it sounds like so much of the music that was coming out at the time, like that. You know,
it sounds like fucking like some hippie LSD freak would make a song to fucking mind control the people in his cult. Like that was the whole point that there was another note I had something about like, oh, Jeremiah is trying to do some mind control. I just wanted to say, you know, good little
mind control.
We're gonna have a little sound play. Whoop whoop.
I know we need to get some. We need
soundboards.
To get some noises. Yeah, some soundboards. No, okay. So yeah, that was the axe that he actually uses. Red, the one that he forges, the one that he makes.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be. It looks like an F, and it's supposed to be for the metal band. They're called Celtic Frost.
Oh.
If you look up their logo, it looks like the middle of the L kind of looks like the fucking the L and the T right next to it looks like the axe kind of. But yeah, it's supposed to be after that, which I'm guessing is another thing that has to do with metal, you know?
Yeah, for sure. That makes sense. I wonder who's into metal, why the movie was so about metal. Was it the director, like, or what was the
yeah, I don't know. I didn't even read anything into that, but there was a lot of it. And then I remember I read an interview too where they talked, I forgot how they described it, but they said it was like I don't know, they said like a heavy metal psychedelic blah blah blah, and I was like, oh yeah, I was like, it did have even though it didn't have a lot of rock in it, it did have a very metal feel, you know,
for sure,
like very like, yeah, fuck yeah, like I don't know, like it was dope.
It reminded me of Tenacious D multiple times throughout the movie for whatever reason.
Oh, bro, just the number 3. I really haven't gone through this list. Number 3 has answered a question that you just brought up. So the quote in the beginning is, "When I die, bury me deep, lay 2 speakers at my feet, wrap some headphones around my head, and rock and roll me when I'm dead." So the opening text lines are they were the last words of Douglas Roberts. He was a murderer who was sentenced to death, and those were his last words.
That's that.
Yeah, what the hell? Let's see what he's sentenced to death for. Douglas Roberts.
Rocking, probably. They think they sentenced him to death for rocking.
for rocking. Let's see. What the hell? Oh, I guess he was just a murderer, but whatever. There's not. It was in 19. It was in 1976, I guess. Yeah, that's kind of cool that those were his last words.
Oh, like, yeah, hell yeah.
Okay, so the book. Oh, cool. This is a question I had. The book Secret of the Serpent's Eye that Mandy is reading it's not real, I guess, and it's just the title. It's the title of the music that's playing during that scene, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the song that's playing during that scene that she's reading is called Secret of the Serpent's Eye. Oh, what the hell? Really? Okay, what is it? It sucks. They don't have fucking details, so I got to go into it. But it says Linus Roach. Linus Roach, he's the guy who plays Jeremiah. It says that he's an actual cult leader in real life. That's what it
Holy
says.
shit.
So I'm looking at the, let's see. What the hell?
Dude, that fucking that scene with his face morphing is still in my fucking head. So weird.
Oh, okay. Wait. Let's see. Oh, what the hell? Okay, I found it. Let's see. Oh, okay. So I guess he's risen to the top of something that's called Enlighten Next. I guess it has a membership in like 20 countries. I don't. Let me look that up now because I don't see much about it. It says it's a troubling cult, but what the fuck is a troubling cult mean?
Hold on, somebody just came to my door. Take your time. I'm gonna note down the time.
Yeah, I guess it was run by. Are you back?
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah.
It was run. I guess it was originally run by Andrew Cohen. That was his name, and it's called Enlighten X. There's a lot about it, but I mean, it doesn't seem like anything too extreme. But I guess like he's been accused of like being this egomaniac and demanding all this money and love from his followers and shit. But I guess that's the guy who plays the main cult leader, I guess, is in that actual cult or whatever. Enlighten Next. Yeah. I have to look more into it.
I've heard of the name Andrew Cohen. I've heard that name, but
I think like there's
politics.
Andy Cohen, though. Oh yeah. I think and then there's Andy Cohen from the E! Channel.
That's probably who I know. That makes more sense.
Oh, and then dude, I noticed this. I actually just read this though, that Mandy and Red live right by Crystal Lake, which is, like Camp Crystal Lake.
Yeah. I did notice that. I was wondering if it was related.
The book of the dead that Red and Mandy are talking about in one scene, they say is a reference to the Tibetan Book of the Dead, which is from everybody knows Enter the Void. It says, okay, what does that have to do with anything? These other ones kind of suck. Okay, these other ones are not Easter eggs. They're just like other movies that the girl appeared in and shit. But either way, those were the ones. Those were interesting.
Those were good.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It was cool.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. But dude, I actually really enjoyed doing this one,
Yeah, for
and it was unexpected, so it was cool.
Fuck yeah, it was. It was like I was telling you, like I kind of want to do something more. I would like I said lighthearted, but just more like fun or whatever. But this was kind of like that in a way, even though it was like real dark, but it was fun.
Yeah.
You know what it reminded me of a lot? Running Scared. That was on my mind a lot. That might be a good movie to do too. I would love to do that.
I haven't seen Running Scared in so long. I have it too.
That'd be a good one, dude. Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
I fucking love that movie.
What are we doing? What's it called? The Silent Weapons.
We do the Quiet Weapons for Silent Wars. It's honestly, I haven't read it yet, but the book I bought, it's only 45 pages, so it's super short. Okay. So I mean, I'm pretty sure we can get it done and get it good. From what I've read about it, though, it seems pretty interesting, like really fucking interesting.
What you said? It's a leaked manuscript or something?
Yeah. So I don't have it on me, but supposedly it has the whole thing in the back. But I guess in like 1976, 78, some dude bought the Salvation Army something. They bought a printer or from like a yard sale or some fucking salvage sale. And when they bought the printer and they opened it up, there was a manuscript in there that had been left in there, and it was this. And supposedly it's been confirmed by a lot of people, but they don't know who actually wrote it. But it's I guess all the details are all about just all these like things that they do through the media, through everything to distract us and keep us oblivious to what's actually going on. And apparently, because when I was looking it up, apparently people who read it, they say that a lot of things that are in the book have already come true. So it's like, that's why people say that they think it's real, because a lot of the things that are talked about are things that you already see have happened, you know? So I'm kind of interested. I haven't started it yet.
I'm going to shit all over this shit. I'm going to shit all over this book. I'm going to debunk this shit live. No, I'm just kidding. That sounds interesting. It sounds, I will definitely, maybe I will take that point of view, maybe, but I'll definitely research the any sort of debunking kind of shit about it, and I'll present that. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, and then I would. I'm pretty sure the book's free if you look it up.
Oh, okay,
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I bought a copy of it because they had like pictures in it, but I'm pretty sure like it looks free cool. Like text too. Yeah,
it looks cool. Yeah. When you send me the picture, it looks dope.
Yeah, that's why I bought it. It was only like it was like $6. So I was like, oh shit, it was cheap.
Cool.
Like, I was like, all right, cool, yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man. Yeah, that'll be next episode. And then after, I don't even know. We got to come up with something.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll talk about it. We'll figure it out. But thank you everybody for watching. I appreciate you guys. Give the video a thumbs up if you're watching on the new Mind Control YouTube channel. Welcome. Definitely subscribe. If you made it this far into the fucking podcast, you're probably subscribed already. But either way, if you can't give us a thumbs up, definitely hit us up in the comments. Technically, at this point, right now, while we're recording this, we don't have any comments ever on our YouTube channel. So you could be the lucky one to be inside us for the first time and pop our cherries.
Hell yeah, please pop our cherries. I'm sick of being a comment virgin. And then also follow the Instagram
absolutely
at Mind Control Podcast. Yeah, go follow it.
Yes, sir.
And fuck with us.